I have an amazing, talented young lady named Flynn Beck. She's joining us. She's a producer, comedian, actress, show host. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having me, Alex.
Absolutely. So today I want to talk a little bit about emotional intimacy. And every time I say the word, I can see something going on in you. Like there's a certain reaction that you have that says a lot. What are you afraid of that word, or what comes up for you when you hear that word?
It resonates. It resonates for me. It's something that I struggle with, and that I'm trying to be better at in life and in my intimate relationship, and also with my friends and family. You know, I think it's important to communicate openly and honestly and be real. It's hard to do, I think.
It can be challenging to do. I noticed that words are important. So a lot of times when I coach my clients, the very first thing that I start with is having them realize what kind of words they use. So if you're using the word hard or difficult, you're so powerful that you will manifest that experience.
Right.
So just right off the bat, if you can change the word to it's a challenging things, because when you use the word challenge, it implies that you can actually overcome it.
Right.
But if you use the word hard, you keep affirming that it's a hard thing, and then you're wondering why you're struggling in that area, because you keep affirming that it's something that's hard.
Yeah, I listened to your show with your daughter about how to deal with difficult people, and I thought I got so many life lessons out of it. And yeah, you don't want to project or put out there. You want to be careful what you put out.
Yeah, so it's a challenge for you.
It is a challenge for me.
So let's figure out how to overcome that challenge. What do you think's getting in the way?
I think Alex is going to make this a life coaching session.
What do you think's getting in the way?
I think myself, like you mentioned, I think I'm in my own way.
What part when you say me, like I'm in the way?
Maybe my fear?
What kind of fear would come up for you that would stop you from allowing yourself? Because let me explain a little bit about what emotional intimacy is really about. Emotional intimacy is about bringing down your wall.
Yeah.
We have this invisible wall that we put up to protect ourselves emotionally. And so you would have to be consciously clear that you have a wall. You have to first kind of own it, right?
Yeah.
Like an alcoholic. Like I am an alcoholic. You have to decide and realize that you actually have a wall. Once you can accept that, then now you can start realizing that every time that I engage in a relationship with people that I care about, that I have to consciously bring it down and allow people in.
Yeah.
To be able to let them see and feel what's going on with you. And then you have to learn how to express that. So are you good at letting people in the first phase?
Well, I think it's a challenge. It's an area of opportunity, but I've been working on it.
What does it look like when you say I've been working on it?
Just awareness.
Being more aware of it.
I think awareness.
Okay, so that's stage one, is you being aware. Mm-hmm. After stage one of you being aware, because you can stay in that stage forever.
True.
You can stay aware forever and then not get the results that you're looking for because you think that the awareness is all of it and it's just phase one.
Right.
After you realize that, you have some wall or some baggage or whatever we want to call it, a protection or a comfort thing that we keep people at bay.
Yes.
Once you're aware of that, then what you have to do now is start practicing certain ways of being.
Correct.
And so let's talk a little bit about some of those ways of being. One of those ways of being that you would have to muster up from within you to start allowing yourself to practice it, so you move from the phase of the awareness into practicing, is to start trusting people.
Yes.
So
trust is key.
So when you think of trust, are you good at trusting people, or is that something that you still have to keep working at?
I think I'm okay. I think it's an area of opportunity, but I think I can trust people. I think I can.
And so, do you trust the people that you're in relationships with to be able to share with them a little bit more?
Not the last one. Not the one I was in. I was in a relationship with somebody for 7 months, but I don't know. That person wasn't emotionally available. Which really made me realize that I was emotionally unavailable, because I'd chosen a super emotionally unavailable person.
Wow, that's great insight actually for you to see that.
I was like, that's probably all that I could have handled at the moment.
Okay.
Because I had been in a relationship where I was living and engaged and raising and co-parenting two girls for about on and off for 6 years. And that when that ended for 2 years, I wanted to kind of just, heal and deal. And then I did attract someone that was completely emotionally unavailable. And I think that's because I was. He requested and required nothing of me.
And I think that's important for you to acknowledge, because that could be a starting point on your, journey of, personal growth and you developing, interpersonally.
Yes.
Just you acknowledging that or seeing that in that relationship.
Yeah. It took me a while to see it, but I saw it. And then once I noticed it, then I realized I really wanted a boyfriend, and I really wanted to share. I wanted someone to love me, and I wanted to love somebody back, and I wanted to snuggle every night with someone, and I wanted a partner. And then once I kind of made that decision, then I got on Tinder, and then I attracted a boyfriend. So I guess you get what you put out, maybe.
Yeah. And so comparative to the last boyfriend.
Well, he wasn't a boyfriend, the last one.
He was your
lover.
Okay. How do you classify the difference?
To me, a lover is, I'm not an expert, but to me, a lover is someone with whom you're exclusively, making love with.
Okay.
Or that I shouldn't end a sentence with whom you're making love. A relationship is, the day in, day out. You're seeing each other often, 4 or 5 times a week. It's more than just making love. Now,
did you enter that relationship with the intention to just be lovers, or did you enter that relationship wanting to go from lovers into a relationship?
I wanted to be lovers going into a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the intention.
Okay. And you realized at a certain point at the transition period, there wasn't enough there to shift and transition into a relationship.
I really tried to get him to want to go to that next level, and he couldn't.
Okay.
He couldn't.
Okay. And so this guy, you started the relationship with the intention of for what?
Oh, I made it real clear that, because I met him on Tinder. So I said, hey, look, he pursued me on Tinder, and everybody says it's a hookup site. So I just wanted to say, hey, flat out, what is it that you're looking for? And he made it sound like he wanted something real. So if he would have been like, I'm looking for fun, I would have never gone out with him, because I just had the fun. So I really wanted to make sure that the next person with whom I, dated or got involved, wanted something real.
Well, that's a great start. And the reason why I want to point this out is because the words I've been using is intention.
Yes.
When you started the other relationship, you really didn't start with the intention to create a relationship. You went more for the physical attraction and the connectedness.
Yeah, and the chemistry. Yeah, it was crazy chemistry.
Okay, so you went head over heels in that area.
Yes.
But this one sounds like you're more committed now to have the intention to start off with a relationship.
Yeah, we both had that
Okay,
intention.
great. And so how's it starting off?
It's been 2 months.
What is that? And so 2 months means what?
I guess you didn't ask for time. So yeah, it's going really well.
Okay,
yeah,
good. All right, because you can be dating for 2 weeks and it could just start, with some fireworks or a spark and just be, an extraordinary, relationship in the first 2 weeks than most people have in 20 years.
Yeah, I would say that we knew pretty right. I think we just knew right off the bat that we both had the same intention, like you said. So I think we both wanted something real, and so the timing was right. And then we just found we were compatible.
Have you started letting him in yet? Have you started to bring those walls down a little bit and starting to reveal a little bit more of yourself?
Oh yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I don't think I was ready to, and that's why I chose the last person.
Right.
Because he required nothing of me. He didn't say like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids someday? What's your biggest fear? Like, he requested nothing of me, so it was easy. It was safe. Where I found when you get back out there and start dating, people say like, oh, what are you looking for? And they ask you all these. You have to be emotionally available when you're dating, because people ask you questions, like they really get in there. And I remember I was on a date in January, and I was kind of dating the last one, and this guy was asking me like, do you want to have kids? And why'd you break up with your ex-fiance? And I was like, I felt like it was a therapy session. I was like, I'm not ready for this. I want to go back to the other guy who's emotionally unavailable. This is too hard.
Yeah, because, you're going through these breakups and you're heartbroken, and
Yes.
you start to decide, you start to have learning lessons from them. You start to realize and get clarity of what you want and what you don't want. So it's almost like every new relationship becomes almost like a job interview. And so you got to sit there and answer those questions because they want to filter you out. They want to make sure you're not going to break their heart again, right?
I know. Well, this gentleman was very kind, and he was just asking. He was so sweet. This is a guy I met on Tinder, and on Tinder, I'm not promoting Tinder at all, by the way, but he had found out someone who came from my hometown. Can I be a little cheeky on here?
Yeah.
Okay. So he said to me on our first date. This is back in January. He said, I reached out to a friend of yours on Facebook, and she told me that you're a comic, you talk really fast, you speak fluent French, and you like large natural breasts. And so he knew that about me going in. So I joke in my comedy, I'm a lesbian from the waist up. And so, but I thought it was sweet. They took the time to find out about me before the date. Isn't that impressive?
That is pretty impressive.
I was like, wow. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready for that. So that was in January. I was like, I think I'm going to go with the emotionally unavailable guy that's not asking me any questions.
And so you chose him, and then there were some new awakenings, new awarenesses. You had to really probably look at yourself and then look at him, and then do some self-evaluation.
Yes, it was really hard. It was really hard.
So what did you decide you wanted in this new relationship that you weren't getting in the other relationship?
Well, I just realized that I wanted a boyfriend. I didn't want to just be a lover. I just didn't want to have a lover. I wanted someone that I could share my life with.
Now, what does that look like when you say have a boyfriend and share my life? Because that means something different to everybody.
What does that mean to you?
That's a great question. For me, having somebody to either share my relationship with is, and there's two different versions. There's a unconscious version of me and a more conscious version. The unconscious version of me was somebody that I could love and have them love me back.
Yeah.
The more evolved me, the wiser me is starting to realize that I'm in a relationship to be 100% giving to it rather than taking anything from it.
Wow.
But I had to develop all those things that I needed from the other person. I had to develop them from within myself.
So that you could give that to
so
them.
that I can be 100% full, whole, and complete, so I can give it to her, my wife. But when I first started off in a relationship, I knew nothing about that. No one taught me that. No one broke down the distinction of what an extraordinary relationship looks like.
How did you learn?
Through personal growth and personal development. I seeked out the knowledge. I did trial and error, and I got mentors and coached. And so I made a commitment that I was going to work on myself because I knew.
Before you met her or during?
After I met her. We met in junior high. We're junior high sweethearts.
Oh my goodness.
And then got married right out of high school.
So of course you were working through it all along.
Well, no, not as a teenager.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but right around the age of 23, I got invited to a transformational training that changed my life. I went in there.
Like a Tony Robbins thing?
Yeah, exactly. But a lot more powerful, intense, emotional. And so a lot of things were revealed about myself at that moment in that weekend. And I was moved to tears of what magnificence I saw about myself that I couldn't see prior to going that weekend. And so then what happened was I got hooked. I got addicted to learning more about loving myself and accepting myself and finding more magnificence in me. And so I embarked on that journey. But I knew right at that moment that going down that journey that I was going to work on myself and develop to a place where I was going to be able to be freed up to give to a relationship rather than being needy of a relationship.
Yeah, it's really about giving. A mentor for me when I used to work for Xerox, he said the more you give, the more you get. And he was like, take action and just give and just give. So now, I do try to give as much as I can.
Now, here's something that I've seen when people are brought up in a home where their parents are teaching them to give. Sometimes we can be giving from an empty bucket, which is unhealthy too.
Okay.
So you can be a giver and giver and giver, and what happens is you start attracting all the takers.
Yes.
And then you're in an abusive relationship.
Yes. I know something about this.
Okay, so what you should be doing is be giving 20%, to someone else while you're giving 80% to yourself. And I know that sounds selfish.
No, it doesn't.
No, a lot of people, they'll say that's selfish.
No,
I wasn't taught
I'm
like
a member
that.
of Al-Anon.
Okay.
I don't think that's
okay. Perfect. So
you know Al-Anon?
Yeah, 12 steps.
Yeah.
It's an amazing program,
Isn't it?
spiritual program. It's similar to Transformational.
Yep.
And it's about taking care of yourself,
I
healing
agree.
yourself, filling up your own bucket.
Yes.
And then you want to give from overflow.
Yes.
You don't want to give from an empty bucket, because if I have 20% of self-love and I give 18 of that away, how much do I have left for myself?
I don't know. I'm not great at math.
So if you're giving more of what you're able to
then you
create
leave you empty.
Yeah, you have insufficient
I have
funds in
to
your
absolutely,
bucket.
as a very proud Al-Anon, I have to work on this immensely. And I attract narcissists and takers. That's my crack, is narcissists. So
are you attracted to narcissists?
I am.
Why? What is it about narcissistic people that you just love?
I don't know. But
It's a turn on, right?
I don't know, but hopefully the man I'm with now is not, and I don't think he is. But yeah, that's kind of my crack as narcissists.
No, and it's common. I've
maybe because they're charming. I don't know.
No,
you tell me.
No, I've coached a lot of very attractive women, and a lot of times they, in their honesty, will say, "I love the bad boy." I love the tattoos and the
I'm not.
nice
I don't know about tattoo, but the last one was a bad boy. He was a bad boy.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked it.
And so, but what was it? What did you like about that?
Well, I had met him in a business situation, so he was, powerful and succeeding in his career, and so I was taken with that. And he had swag, and was just cool and hip, and we had crazy chemistry.
So you focus in relationships more on the chemistry rather than the substance.
In that particular situation, because of what I was going through, I was heartbroken because I had ended my relationship with my fiance, and he didn't want me to see his daughters anymore, and I'd been raising them for 6 years. So I was heartbroken, and a girlfriend of mine had taken her life. So I kind of had some things I was dealing with.
To make yourself feel better, you found yourself a boy toy.
I don't really want to say that because I don't think I'm that kind of a girl.
Well, no, but okay, let's not come up. How would you call him? Well, you found someone else that excited you.
Oh, he
took you, and he took you.
Helped me escape. He helped me escape. I just
took you to another land.
I just wish he would have helped me escape a lot more often. It was only like 3 or 4 times a month I saw him, so I just wish it would have been a better escape. But maybe it was good it wasn't, because I thought I didn't get too terribly. I don't know. Who knows?
Look, I believe that all things happen for a reason, and it was perfect. Everyone comes into our life, even if it's a dysfunctional relationship, that relationship's there, and that person's there to teach you something.
Yes, and you know what it taught me? The biggest thing, is that okay if I tell you this?
Yeah, of course.
The biggest thing it taught me was that, okay, so I'm a producer, I manage talent, I was in sales for many years for Xerox. I'm aggressive, but I'm trying to be assertive. But what I've done my whole entire life is I've tried to put my agenda on the other person. But I was with a man prior to my relationship now that didn't care about my agenda. And I had to learn that if I was going to be in a relationship with this guy, I had to go by his agenda. And that was the first time in my life that I can recollect that I was willing to play by his rules because I wanted him so much. But it wasn't good for me. But I wanted him. So I thought, okay, maybe I have to let him lead and let him be in charge. So I did that for a couple months. But just the fact that I was willing to let go of the control, like your daughter had said, and let him be in charge. And then this is probably deeper because of what I meant, but the big lesson with him is I had to learn to stop pushing my agenda on other people. Because he clearly wanted something casual, and I clearly wanted a boyfriend. And I didn't accept or see that all he could give me was casual. I wanted my agenda. So it really made me realize I have to stop pushing for my agenda and take people for who they are and hear them and see them, and don't go, oh, he wants something casual, but I'll make him fall in love with me. You know what I mean? And so it helped me realize I need to be a better listener.
Taught you a lot.
He taught me a lot.
And so now you took a lot of those life lessons that you learned about relationships, and you're going to parlay them into
my
this
life.
new relationship
Into my life.
To all relationships.
Yes, to everything.
And when we come back from the break, we're going to continue this conversation about emotional intimacy.
Yes.
Right here on The KHTS.
KHTS.
We'll be right back.